Well, what do you know? We're back with another mod stream. Today, we're gonna be crapping, boys. I promise there's not gonna be a ridiculous amount of work that I spend, ridiculous amount of time that I spend working on the Cosmonarchy mod. Because you know what? I've already done that. And, well, we'll just ignore that. I've already done that, okay? I've already handled everything that needs to be handled in that respect. And I was just doing a last minute test to see if I could replicate an issue other than the crash that just happened. And turns out I couldn't because I fixed it because I'm epic. And you know what else I took care of today, recently? I was able to smash out some work on some unit responses, which is quite nice. So I've handled most of what I need as far as that is taken. I've done pretty much everything I need. Why is the background a bunch of fucking crows, dude? Jesus. Okay, anyway, we'll just close that for now. So yeah, everything seems to be relatively handled well-ish. We're still investigating some issues, but things are going well with the new build. So that means it's time to take a look at what we're going to come up with. So obviously, we recently were working on this Blasteroids map. It will be a map that actually is made primarily in this terrain. And you know what? Just because I've spent the whole time so far standing up, and because I've got to do a show later where I'll be standing up, I think it's time I sit down, take a seat. Not Chris Hansen style, preferably. Okay, so where are we headed now, boy? You may be wondering. Okay, so yeah, ultimately, overall, my changes have been pretty positive to this area, I think. But one thing that I am concerned about, spacing-wise, is like this is even this right here that I have like drawn a box around. That's almost enough build space, but I was thinking of putting a base there, and obviously I can't do that realistically. So then the question becomes, what do we do after that? And I just don't happen to have a proper answer, I don't think. Okay, let's just putting some music on. So ultimately, I think the path forward is to place an expansion here. I don't think there can realistically be one here. We can definitely have one here on this platform. This little high-rise area here is kind of neat, but I don't know if it... I don't know how much of a massive impact it actually makes, but we shall find out. And then obviously I was going to play around with the height levels here, or attempt to. Again, trying to be organic with my layout where possible. Let's do something like that, maybe. So obviously we can't do that one. Although I think we might be able to do that one with different build, but whatever. Not a massive deal. that over there. Sure. For a second, I forgot I was dealing with placeholder assets. Placeholder terrain. This is a blockout, boys. Very different than a walkout, of course. Yeah, this map is definitely experimental, man. I'll say that much. With any luck, it ends up being a worthwhile experiment. Which to me kind of feels inevitable, but... Yeah, so I am thinking we probably want... I don't like giant open areas where you've got no details whatsoever, right? But you still want this for build space, particularly for Terrans. I think we make some concessions to afford them a neat little platform here. And this one actually will be done up in that way, so actually okay by me. There we go. I guess the one problem with this setup is that the ramps are technically like off center. That's gonna trigger me. But there's nothing I can do about that, so. We'll throw Bob's guns, because that's funny. Meme. Haha. Although I actually don't know if I did the detailing for that on dirt. Maybe what I'll end up doing is not making too much of a fuss about custom tiles, though this is Mapcrap after all, and then what I can do is, like, more long-term, I can start replacing tiles or whatever. Maybe I'll do some sections of the map, but not all of them. Okay. So we've hopefully successfully skirted around that. Now, I think we'll leave it there, I guess. Let's slap some bases over there, or a base over here. Alright, that should be sufficient. Let's check the... Ah, perfect. It's almost like I planned that or something. Alright, I'll push this one back a little bit more. Cabling. I haven't been as on top of some of this stuff, unfortunately. Let it slip a little bit. Just start picking random units now to do voice acting for, I think. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I don't know if there should... I feel like there should probably be more... Like maybe one more bridge or something. Yeah, something like that could work. Oh, it looks like there was supposed to be a small one over here. I don't know if that would have worked, TBH. I guess we can do a tiny one for a change. That's baby. There you go. Tiny men bridge for tiny men. Ironically used by Protoss. Protoss equals tiny man. So now we've started to get a feel for how the game flow is going to look in some of these places. Add some negative space here. I'm trying to make sure that along the borders there's a heavy presence of space so that you still preserve the feel of being on a network of asteroids or fucked up space platforms or whatever the case may be in any given circumstance. You, actually. What's going on, Kian? You, Q7. I'm about to do something that will probably break the AI. Actually, I've already figured out a way how to make this work. This will be my almost centerpiece or something to that effect. So, how do I want to go about this one? First of all, do I have confirmation? Okay, that's good. Yeah, good luck getting it from the AI. I agree. Hey, you say we haven't experienced with it. Speak for yourself, homie. That was shit that I was doing from the literal beginning of time with Hydra back in the day. I haven't experienced with it recently? Yeah, but I haven't really made content recently. But I talk about that kind of, that style, if you will, of balancing out bases all the time. You could imagine like something that would later become much more valuable, but for now it doesn't confer too much of a bonus. Yeah, and my maps all used to have that all over the place. Not in melee maps, but not quite Veeker. Yeah, we just have to figure out what's breaking them. It might even be something in GPTP. Also, Kian, you will likely be amazed at how good the AI base placement is in this base. Or I'll eat my fucking words, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be impeccable. Precisely because there's not very many places it can be. It's a cheap way out, but when there's only like 2 areas you could even fucking go, the town is naturally made in the right spot. There you go. Well, none of them are inaccessible, so That's all that matters. Yeah, if you could actually set that on the on something like that, that would be ideal. There, I'll even put a start location to maximize efficiency. Yeah, they can be reached if you're, like, right here, you can mine this one, as well as these. Like, you can mine all 4 of these from this one position. Same for this one over here, if you're in here. You can mine all 4 of these. Also, what's up, Luciferius? Your first ever map, your first ever crap, coming soon. Are you excited to make your debut? So Veek, I guess you can, if you're not already doing it, you should probably run a test with and without Lazarus AI. You should pull the latest build, and then I can send you the map that I was able to recreate the crashes on. Well, I'll just test to see if I get crashes on, like, Kakadu Port or something. Definitely going to be more crap than map. Fair enough. The ratio is important, but sometimes it takes some experience to get right. What, this is target practice for salamanders? It's like a wet dream of pretty much every fire multiple or crowd control unit, yeah. Solid stuff, in my opinion. I'm actually quite satisfied with how this came out. It's pretty funny. Well, it will definitely look solid when I like this is probably the area I'm most motivated to paint over. But we'll do some tests with it in the block out for now. I think I crashed around 13 minutes in my map earlier. This one might actually be over already. Oh, never mind. Tiny craprum, simu craprum. Owned. Yeah, in this case, it's a gray box, a literal gray box. I think I made that joke during the first stream of it. So I think we probably want one more base, maybe like along this ridge here. We can like expand this out a bit, but then block it off with... I was concerned about like leaving this open because obviously you could conceptually quite easily blow this open with air units or whatever. But if both of them have mineral lines against them, then that's less likely to at least have like... you have to do some wacky positioning if you... Jesus. Wait, how many mineral fields are even over here? Oh, there we go. We got a crash. 36, so that's 33. That's perfect. Six, 9, 5, D, 5, 8. I guess this might be the military AI thing. I'll go to Ida real quick. Going to oven. Yeah, it's the AI captain, AI region captains. Well, it's whatever this is. It's some unpacking of AI captain data. It looks like we could get more information on it if we hooked unpack AI captain data, but I do not know. If I go to... Well, no, I don't know. What would be going on there? So in this case, it's moving EDI plus 69, of course. EDI is 5E8 to D8. Which if I go to IDA in... Oh, it looks like it's the unit array? It's something inside the unit array? So it's picked something inside the unit array. 696708. This is in that byte array, basically. But I wonder why unit array plus 69 would matter. Yeah, I don't know. I have no immediate ideas. But I sure hope Veek does. Back to gray boxing. I was also kind of thinking about linking these two side paths together. That could be interesting if I did that somewhat well. It does sabotage the aesthetic a bit, but... lose out on a lot of that feeling of it all being messed up. Gotta watch where you're walking in this fucking area, dude. Get some ramps. Yeah, they've already actually done that just with my most recent changes, James. Still, they'll get even stronger pretty soon when I update them, but they're already much more competitive. I'll have a another cast over up that shows as much when we are able to stabilize the game state a bit. Oops, not what I wanted to do. But yeah, that was definitely a... I knew I would eventually be able to crack the code, so to speak, and get them to be more competent. But it was something that was on my mind more like a little bit ago before I was able to resolve some of the issues with them. I was wondering, essentially the same thing, like, will I ever be able to get these guys looking good? Oh, we just got annihilated by some spammers. Thankfully, I can remove them from the chat. Easy. I wonder why they even bother with like the coordinated. I guess it's probably not coordinated. It's probably just random chance that they sometimes send multiple bots to the same location. But surely that would just make you even less likely to fucking follow the link. I don't get that one. In many ways, it wasn't the AI's fault as much as it was just an issue with progression. Because, so Zerg as a race need to spend their workers on buildings, and they need to spend their larvae on workers, supply, and units, all at the same time. Now, with the way that Zerg work as a race, they're naturally going to have lower worker counts because they have to spend workers on buildings, and because they also can't train workers as fast as the other races because they use the same mechanism they use to train workers also trains all of their military and handles their supply. So essentially, it would be like if, in order to train an SCV from a command center back in the original Brood War, you had to you also had to build supply depots from the command center and train all of your military units. So you can see where that would be obviously be an issue. There'd be a bottleneck where at some point you would have to choose between workers and units. That's what Zerg have to do all the time for all of those things. And in the Cosmonarchy game state, you essentially have more options to... Obviously, you can go for different ways to improve your supply by upgrading your production structures, which will give you slightly more supply. It's pretty indirect, but it'll also increase how many larvae you get per second, we'll say, or per minute. And with that, that offsets it somewhat. You can also go for larval colonies, which in the short term cost a bit more drones for the time or the purpose or whatever, the amount of larvae that you get. But in the long term can add up and help you spike up a lot earlier than having to save up 300 minerals for a hatchery. So, well, StarCraft 2 had the queen because instead of resolving the design flaw, Blizzard decided that the best way to do it was to make a rote task. The player had to push a button for every 30 seconds or they fell behind, which is anti-design, actually. It's not game design explicitly. So, obviously pretty hilarious that was their solution. But yeah, that did resolve the issue. I'm looking to do it in a much more organic way where we actually have game mechanics and game design, you know, those things that StarCraft 2 clearly is not aware about. Blizzard were not aware of when they designed it. Unfortunately, like as life tells us, in most cases, the sequel is rarely nearly as good as the original, even when the original itself is not all that great. I don't really like that, how I have, like, no good place for the... Okay. Yes, actually, I do remember that. That was like some... there was some weird platforming puzzle where if you went the wrong way, you would get sawed in half by a blade or something. I vaguely recall that. Or no, I think there was like a fan room or something. I don't remember. Some goofy shit. Well, it's not really intuitive that by crouching you would jump higher. It's just a learned sort of behavior or whatever. It's like in it's like Magic Boxing and RTS or whatever. Like nobody would expect that selecting a slower unit with faster units would cause them to ball up, and only some units, mind you. I mean, I guess technically all units do, but it's very different in how it manifests for air units. So nobody would expect that, but people know about it because it's been in the game for so long. Whoa. I think that'll be it. I would like to give this guy more build space, but he should be okay. I guess considering it's Protoss, maybe not. All right, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Another thing we definitely need is to figure out a way to get the AI to recognize how many mineral fields they have access to, how many geysers they have access to, resource nodes in general, and then train at least 3 workers per node. That would be the bare minimum for somewhat maximum efficiency, and without any supply cap, obviously, it makes sense to power through there. In the vein of supply, I was actually thinking Terran probably needs a higher tier supply structure that takes up less space per supply granted, essentially. Even if it would be bigger than a depot and obviously more expensive, it would be a conservation of space. Maybe it gives you like 20 supply or something. I don't know. But that does feel like a band-aid solution to the problem that supply poses in an infinite supply type game. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one. All right, Veek, how are we handling these crashes, dude? Because they're pretty bad. I can't test anything for very long. I'm pushing a fix for an iScript bug, but... I don't have anything else. Oh, I actually have to enable the other AI. Oh, shit. Hey, what the fuck? This guy's not even doing anything. Oh, maybe his, forgot to move his fucking location. I think, anyway. Yeah, that would have been it. Well, okay, let me know if you encounter the same issues, because if it is that, then we've got to figure out what to do about that. I think I made everybody hostile to everybody else, right? Let's see. All players, alliances, yeah. That'll be particularly entertaining over here. I kind of forgot that those two weren't going to be allied. I could add another player in this bottom left-hand area, actually. If I wanted to be real evil, I could throw a 7th player down there. See what happens. I guess this player, the top 2 players are probably egregiously close to each other, whereas at least everybody else seems to have a fair chance. I don't really know what... I guess I can relocate this player to be on this side of the little separator I have. I don't know if that will actually be that much better, but yeah, it could be. Yeah, it is. I don't know about that placement, buddy. Dude, we got 3 Zerg here. 2 Protoss here and a single Terran there. Zerg here, Terran there, Protoss Pier, P here. No, don't P here, actually. Oh, this guy's gone a long way without any tech. He must be a Spire opener? That's my only thought. Double creep colony. Interesting. This is goofy. So he goes larval. Is he like double larvaling or something? What is he doing? This is probably one of the reasons why I need to reevaluate the build orders, to be honest. Another thing I can do is after they get their first extractor request, they can probably go straight into a W gas block that then tells them to build gas when they have an extra geyser, like build an extra one. They will eventually get this, but it usually waits until the end of the build order, so to speak. Another larval colony. These guys are pacifists, Zerg, or what's going on here? Is that function particularly foreboding to attempt to debug? Or hook, rather? There's a second larval. I can only imagine what is going through this man's existence right now. Owned. Lost vision. Okay. Fucking eye roll opener. Jesus. Oh, I think this guy got Zerg-heard. Hey, James, you said earlier you wanted to see Zerg win a match. Well, you've at least seen them defeat Protoss, I think. Oh, I guess he can get Kabbalists now, so probably not. Scribes are trying to fight back. Oh, they have been successful at killing most of the Zethar cores. Oh, man, he lost so much, though. Jesus. He lost every scribe. Does he even have money to rebuild? I don't know. It doesn't seem likely. Oh, this guy's got no static defense, though. This is a problem. Yeah, protect me, he says to nobody. I like that idea, though. Yeah, the Quasilus kiting was pretty good for against the scribes or whatever. Oh, he's pulled the Droleths. Get him. Fuck him up. Dude, this is actually somewhat effective. It's confusing the zealot pathing. Fuck yeah. Get him. Own him. Destroyed. Oh shit, Protoss taking Mega Base. Dude, this guy's actually got... Dude, he's actually in a 6-way free-for-all. He's been allowed to wait like 5 minutes to get his first tech structure. I can't believe that. Can't believe he was successful. This guy's completely fucked. He's out of money. Holy shit. Impressive. Hi. Oh, could have focused down the actual low HP unit, but that's okay. Well, you know this man's about to boom because of all of his money. Oh, that's pretty good. Tickled. Tickled to death. Oh my god, he's going to tier 2 or tier 3 technology on the cards, boys. What is this man doing? What is this build? If I wanted a like tier 2 tech rush build, I would have done it in a bit of a different way, for sure. Hi. Smooch. Owned. Hey, the fuck? Ah! I like the taser from the scribe. Just zap him. Oh man, Zerg might be having some supremacy here pretty soon, actually. We got another early game one. Only got one tech so far. Let's see where he goes. Again, I haven't made any alterations to the build orders beyond making the AI quote-unquote functional, so... For Zerg, that is. See, air units spinning. Yeah, there's the third base. The fated third base for all 3 Zerg, actually. Oh, man. This guy with the 3 gas base. I don't know that he'll use it very well, but it's there. Hi. We heard you were against Zergir. We only Zergir can kill Zergir. That's how it works. I do like the initial focus on the scribes, but it fell apart pretty quickly, unfortunately. More captaincies. This guy's getting a third, I think. Yeah, I think he's heading down to the bottom left for a third. Treasury captaincy. They're out of money. I wonder how they could possibly be out of money, to be honest. I guess it's because they've spent every single fucking dime they have. Oh. Pitiful Protoss. Oh shit, I think Orange might die. Such is the fate of fools who do not tech up. Hi. Hey, get back here. Oh, overshot it. See ya. I love the Ovaleth spinning that's going on here. It's great. Oh shit, dude, look at this man. Oh shit. Maybe that's why he has no money. He spent it all on being epic. Meanwhile, they're here. Brutality. Hierophants are still spinning quite a bit, unfortunately. Moderately corrected Grand Library Shadow probably still needs to be slightly less pronounced, but whatever. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Hallucinating. When you accidentally fly into a hallucination field and die horrible deaths. Zerg here? Yeah, this one doesn't actually seem to have any stability issues. And I'm guessing that's because there's not very many apostles, despite the captaincy spam that's been going on. I haven't actually seen any yet. So maybe I lucked out. Oh shit, there it is. The fucking harbinger of my death. The harbinger of destruction. Well, no, apparently it doesn't cause it, because without it enabled, it was still crashing, so I don't know. Holy fucking hallucination, Jesus. Oh, there we go. I wish I could look around the map at the point where it crashed. This is, by the looks of it, the same crash, but I'll debug it to be sure. Yeah, there's no call stack. I guess Veek, would we potentially have more call stack info if we ran it in debug or no? Because I feel like it's either there or not there. I don't think there's a difference made for the call stack, but I could be wrong. Hmm. Yeah, it's the same crash. Unfortunate. Sure. Well, if you want to get started on that, or you can wait for me to get back, either way. It doesn't look like I can do much more testing without having that issue resolved. So we're gonna need to make some changes here. But until I return, I shall be back. Don't say you missed the old Ecclesiast graphic. It was the worst graphic in the fucking game. I never want to see it again. Okay, we're back. Time to get some stuff done. Let's see what we got. All right, what is this anyway? It's delete worker AI? Yeah. Well, that was easy, but probably broken. So EDX is this, which is we'll say worker AI list. And this is so this is worker AI. IDA doesn't even have these types as far as I know. This seems tautologous. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I think this is literally the same thing. It's just reassigning it. Let me just make sure this makes sense. +4. I actually don't know what field 4 would be. AI data list. Oh, yeah, first. Okay. So that's what it is. Okay. Don't think we need the dereference there. If worker AI. Okay. So this is if worker AI's field 4 equals worker AI's field 4. What the fuck? So V4 is assigned some high value. I forget what the 2400 was. Oh, it's end a pointer there. I'm assuming it's some field. Yeah, I figured it was worker AI, but I'm not sure what the... Doesn't look like it wants to work for this last one. Do I have to dereference it again for writing? I don't think it has the types, though. Unless you're aware of something. Is there a worker AI? Well, you should. I assume by you telling me to do it, you have already done it. If not, then it's kind of pointless to tell me to do it, since you wouldn't know if it's in there. Surely you know what you're doing. Yeah, I do it all the time too, but there's a reason why I didn't do it here. It's because I don't think it exists in memory for Ida. I'll move on to the wrapper for now, and maybe you'll find a way to plug it into Ida and get a better result. I forget what 24,000 is. Icor told me something about it a while ago. I guess I can find it in my DMs. It looks like 24,000 is first free. But then I don't know what what 4 is. You use that for worker AI or worker AI array? I guess for worker AI. Okay, that gives me much more useful elements. Okay. Might be getting somewhere now, homie. I still don't know what AI data list would be, or worker AI array, or whatever. I'm not sure how I convert it to a pointer, so... No. IDA just has no idea what it's doing if that's what it thinks the AI data list is. What's up, Ikeware? Let's see if that happens to be in the brush palette. I don't think I added much to the brush palette for jungle, actually. Temple Cliff Jungle. Oh, it is right here. You'll find it in the brush palette, Temple Cliff Ruins, towards the bottom. And they will be at the end, right here. If you're not already using the brush palette, then you're missing out because it makes hand painting tiles significantly more reasonable. Although it's still not as reasonable as we would like. Of course. Wait, should this field actually be a pointer instead of just a normal variable? Field, rather? I feel like maybe this should be a pointer because it's complaining about, I mean, I guess I can dereference it, but that's not what it does in the original. I'm thinking maybe my struct is just wrong. Well, what should I be doing here? Because the IDA doesn't have any dereferencing, so... Like, I can obviously do this, and it'll work. Well, I guess not. It won't work, actually. No. I guess you want me to do this? A mess. The hotkey for renaming in IDA is N. Oh, this is... I called it the wrong thing, of course. Noob. So, Iquare, how is your submission going? Are you planning on using your own game state and stuff? It's been a while since I've seen you in a stream chat. Let's see if we get any issues here. Owned. Huh. Not so fast now, are you? You fucking motherfucker. Look at this insane kiting. Well, it seems to work, I guess. I don't know. At least I didn't get any crashes in that very limited test. I guess I'll do some cuckadoo. What the fuck? How? Why? Why would it require debug when I'm building in release? Any fucking ideas there? Like, is that it telling me to build it in debug? Like, Jesus. What a mess. Oh, that's funny. That would be really weird for hallucinations to be... It happened every game. I never would have guessed that hallucinations would have been involved. What's up, Mutas Dozen? Well, I'll test it in debug if that's what it wants. What the fuck, dude? Pretty wild stuff. Does anybody have any idea what's going on here? Am I being pranked? Did I get pranked? My GPTP was a minute ago, so it was from this compile. My... yeah, here it's also a minute ago. What the fuck? Veek, help. I'm being memed on. Oh, I guess maybe it's because I didn't rebuild or something. I'll try that. Oh, interesting. So your theory then is that hallucinations were always using Broodling AI, and that's why they weren't being assigned the proper values for workers. It's so weird that that would happen every time that the crash happened. Well, I can see why I would fail to find it in those paths, but it doesn't. It's not accepting the PDB that's being generated in this build, and even on release, it was asking for debug. So something is fucked, and I don't know what it is. I just cleaned and rebuilt, and it's still breaking. I guess I'll try rebuilding and release. Really doesn't make any sense to me. The fuck? Wonder how that bug got there. Oh, it was supposed to be a wider ramp. That's what it was. Do I have another one lying around somewhere? No, I'm not giving it that. I'm literally giving it the plugin file that I'm generating. Alright, well, I fixed that anyway. I will also have to do it over here. Oh, it is right over here. Well, I don't know. That's a mega prank. I haven't built debug since we switched to Cosmonarchy. So I don't know why I would ever think that debug is responsible or necessary. That feels like a really wild issue. Right, we'll rebuild to be sure. There you go, it's in. Oh, and the cops are not happy either. Why? Why does it care if this build if this file is here? Why? 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 Why does it care? This is from like ages ago anyway. Am I not supposed to be moving the file? Because what I'm doing in my build scripts is I'm moving the file, renaming it and moving it. So do I need to do like a... I guess we'll try this. Oh, I can delete these. These don't matter. So now there is a file there. And it'll have a verbose name here, so I can delete this. It's literally in the folder. It's literally, this file is in the folder. It's right here in the folder. Like, this is just a prank. Desktop, libraries, tools, git shit, gptp, build, cm-gptp-debug dot. Oh, it's looking for the plugin. Why? Why would it be looking for the plugin? That's so weird that this never happened before, and all of a sudden it's breaking. Oh, I just unpinned something. I think it was API. Things unpin by themselves enough. I do not need any help with it. I don't know what's going on, Veek. All I know is what the error is telling me. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Pretty good. Now the QDP is not a valid Win32 application. Looks like shit got reset somehow. What was the stuff that I needed again? What's up, leering lard cat? Skither Core is a new air unit. It's unlocked by the Hydrock Den. Do you have like a screenshot of the recommended settings or whatever? Because it looks like I've got to reconfigure them for some reason, but I don't know why. I guess maybe because we changed the stuff from Hydra to... too late for that advice, motherfucker. Although, this one is already set. Yeah, release is already set by the looks of it. Wait, what is this? I don't know what the fuck is going on. Nah, it's a new unit. Zerg are getting 3 new units in this patch. The Lyrilisk, Skither Core, and Sovralith. I don't have a proper graphic for the Lyrilisk or the Sovralith, to be honest. But We're gonna go ahead and rebuild. What does that even mean? What the fuck? What? How? 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 Jesus. Yeah, my release build generates debug exe or QDP. Great. Exactly what I wanted. Oh, well, then I hit cancel debugging like an idiot. Why and how could that possibly be the case? Owned. Back to what we were over here. Oh, great. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Because I didn't do that enough times. Jesus. Nice program. I had to use Zerg Cyrus and pretend they're servers. Oh, you actually are using Hydra. That's interesting. Surely now we attach. Hey! Hey! It's still busted. Why? Why? I don't know what that means. We are having a good time today, boys. I will just go ahead and restart the program, I guess. Yes, Leering Lardcat, this is indeed fun. Wait, is this Fagudo? Did you get a... Oh, it is Fagudo. It must be, because he was spamming in here earlier. No, I did not try restarting VS earlier. And this is after your hallucination AI changes? The least likely of culprits, and yet, here we are. Well, I guess maybe my hook isn't necessary at all if you've already fixed the problem, but you know what? At least I fixed my fucking Visual Studio, guys. At least I did that. Jesus. What is my existence? Holy shit, it worked! Wow. Finally. What is this line? That's not what I wanted. I like how every time I look at IDA, this fucking hook changes, or this function changes. So now my hook is completely different from what it's saying. All right, well, you know what that means, boys. Owned. Here we go. Discard that. Don't think anybody will be upset at my commit message there. Hey, there's still a couple free unit IDs, Iquare, if you wanted to add some for Mapcrap, although it would not be future-proof because I'll be using them eventually. But you can take a look at the unit ID enum in GPTP, and I've listed the free entries in there, so might be useful for you. Okay, now that we've done all that, I think it's time to run another test on our map. We're going to see how it goes. All right, let's take a moment to pause my music. Unmute my game. Close my calculator that I started by accident. First, I'll hit the 3 key. Okay, here we go. Check out our stuff. Oh yeah, I was going to move this guy, but I didn't yet. So we got 1 Zerg. 2 Zerg. We have 3 Protoss and 1 Terran. There you go, Fuguto. Faguto. I think it was Alexander earlier who was saying, what did he say? He was trying to say that Faguto said something or did something, and instead of being able to say that, he got fucking shadow banned or whatever. His message got cucked, and so he said, Garuto said. He's a crafty gentleman, that Alexander, finding his way around some of this stuff. You should play on the pre-release Iquare if you're doing any testing. No, you don't. Listen, before you make any changes, play on the pre-release Iquare. Do some testing with that. Tell me if you have the same results, because Zerg are much better with the changes. And micro AI in general, the kiting AI Veek was able to put together, is obviously going to be a pretty massive fix there. Veek, if we can confirm that there are no more crashes, we should cherry pick the AI fix that you did. We should cherry pick that into the main commit, I think. Just so that we can fix the issue with release. We'll say it's a hot fix or whatever. Hey, Iquare, maybe you know how to stop the Zerg units from having a fucking spaz attack. I think this is because they're decolliding with buildings when burrowed or something. We need to really overhaul this code. So, if it's done in A's, maybe you can send us the information about it so we can make a hook in GPTP and implement it there so that it's actually functioning instead of being stupid. Lakizilisks in particular are just repeatedly spam burrowing and stuff sometimes. It's kind of rare. I think it maybe happens like at least once a game that I've seen. Maybe not. Maybe it's like every other game or something. It's consistent enough, but... Oh, shit! I would also like to get Warp Flash re-implemented, but I don't want to delay Zerg or Protoss building times by 3 seconds. Look at this man taking aggressive control of 2 bridges with 1 colony. Oh shit! Mega base acquired. Hi. We heard you were trifling with the Ahmeds. Owned. And the kiting, see ya. Any chance you can fix Hierophants, by the way, V? Did you see that man immediately stop and try to gun them down? Hey, Ahmeds, go back home-o. You're getting kissed. Oh shit! Dude, he's... Yes! Dude, the AI just SCV drilled, the Mason drill. See ya, nerd. I mean, they're breaking, but holy fuck, dude, this is scary to watch. I don't want to go up against this AI. Jesus, look, he's owning me with Masons. Fuck him up. Never mind. He's not doing much actually. Owned it. Yeah, Hierophant. Famously, the legend is Hierophants do have a weapon, but we haven't been able to confirm that just yet. Oh, I just realized the Vassal walk cycle is fucked. I can fix that real quick. At least I think it's fucked. No? No, I have no idea then. Oh, maybe the engines are following the... Yeah, I guess that would make sense. I can just add another frame set to the engines then. Just duplicate it. Meanwhile... Yeah, that watchdog will definitely help you out, homie. Yeah, the smaller simulacra I feel like are pretty thematic. They're also less like... They're slightly less expensive and also significantly less tanky. Like less durable, so... You'll just be seeing a lot more of them, basically. In an ideal world, anyway. So, it looks like our first casualty here is Brown. That was the same thing that we saw in the previous test. Fuck him up! Oh, fuck. I like when they actually do drill. Like, it's unintentional, of course, but it's pretty funny. Get a manifold. Use your new muzzle flash to kill them. Oh, fuck. Now AI can cast spin. Yeah. It's not just players with spin keys that can cast that. Oof. Owned. Pea-shootered. What's going on for this guy anyway? Dude, the Zerg have been mostly untouched. Like, this guy's been contested by red, I guess, and purple. But it looks like purple's trying to clean up orange. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. He didn't actually just sit here and die. Oh, never mind. He's breaking. They're broken. They don't know what to do anymore. Jesus Christ. He tags them once and then doesn't do anything. What an asshole. I was going to say they didn't die, but then they did die. Very unfortunate. Fucking Ahmed. Dude, what are you repairing stuff for, dude? Come repair this fucking simulacrum out of your base. Ah, shit. They killed this last worker. Stop kiting. Just shoot it. What are you doing? No. Ah, idiot. Veek. Veek killed that man. Admittedly, without Veek, he probably would have not even been in that position because he would have died sooner, but, you know? Warp Flash building animation would look on Rainbow Protos. Don't even make me think about that. I mean, I guess you could do the testing yourself, but it'd probably be AIDS. So those are the kind of edge cases we're talking about anyway. A kind of interesting aspect to how the kiting AI works with cloaked units is that sometimes they will actually decloak, or they'll recloak because of the kiting, but I think that's mostly a DPS loss. Owned. I don't know what's causing the vassal thing, but in theory I can fix that by adding another frame set to the walk cycle. It's probably not it's probably a kiting issue or something. Yeah, I also agree with DF, actually. There's plenty of cases where you shouldn't be kiting. Owned. Picked apart by bar guests. Brutality. Hi. Hi. Oof. Store my own units. But then kite out of it. Oh, shit. Yes, that's what I said about the spin key. Hi. This looks like a pretty tough spot to be caught into. Oh! Oh my god! He actually attacked! Oh, let's see if we can do it some more. Holy shit. This is record DPS for kiting Hierophant. Well, there are plenty of instances where you would want to kite back if you assume that the enemy is trying to kite forward. But yeah, in these cases, they are losing out on DPS by spinning. The other case is obviously if, like, you're being attacked by a melee unit, you want to kite back. Well, I guess that would be covered by the case that DF put forward. But this poor motherfucker is just occupying some bases. Oh shit! I heard a Cantor's. Hi. Well, thankfully we didn't have to look at that asset for too long. Witnessed. I like the body block with the drill left. This is actually really nice. I mean, it's kind of starting to body block their own units now, but... Tickled. Synthetic synod. That vassal actually wanted to die there, but couldn't. Eventually we'll get Lakisilus rules in so that they burrow ahead of units and stuff. There's the Skither core. Once we get those port data extenders, we can actually put in some custom portraits. And with the models from 5 Nations in our grasp, another thing we can do is make portraits out of the unit itself, in theory. This man is kiting nobody. There we go. He snapped back to reality. I have seen a few cases of the units just sort of freezing up. I don't know what that could be related to. Well, we're pretty deep into the game now, and there's no crashes. Well, I say pretty deep. It's been 13 minutes. Okay, he's basically liberated this this base. This is very hilarious building placement, but you know what? Whatever you say, man. Whatever you hey, man. Look at the tiny automaton register. I have to shrink the selection circle, but it's tiny now. Holy fuck. Send every scribe that you have to build one building. Thanks. Although, as long as he's here, like, he's enjoying a pretty good amount of money. So. There we go. 2 more bases can be immediately expanded to by whoever wants them. What's our tech like over here, anyway? Hostile. All right, tier 3. Oh. Vorvro core! Ah! Ugly as fuck! Academy wireframe. I actually forgot to send these new units in for wireframes. I think the Skithra core I have one for, but I need yeah, I need other ones. I think this guy might be like low on money because he's only on 2 bases. But meanwhile, there we go. Well, that was a pretty crazy skirmish. Ah, shit. Red seems to have ganged up on this guy. Owned. Amaranths were able to stay alive thanks to their shields. Shield steal. Kissed. Oh yeah, I guess we are. Are we still using the old one? I didn't even think about that, to be honest. It looked like, because the sound channels were full, it looked like that simulacrum just split on contact with the Cazilla's projectile. Well, Zerg here has managed to stay alive. Hi. Yeah, this guy's been sticking it out on tier 2 for a while now. Should definitely be addressed. Some of these build orders are not quite as performant as others, we'll say. Still haven't actually adjusted them yet. That's a job for later today. Stability improvements are certainly nice. The one thing I will say is, with this kiting AI making individual armies more competent, it's going to increase the need for an AI attack wave extender even further, because now AI will be able to defend that much better because they have more units at their disposal and they keep their units alive for longer. The problem obviously being there's not really much you can do about like massing up to sufficient status, right? You can't really do that. This is psychotic. You can't really do that to the same extent. Mind control. I'm already doing that. and it doesn't actually work. It's a hit or miss kind of thing. I guess I can add some sort of specialty thing that just quick attacks, like, if the supply in units is above 80 or something, it just quick attacks. But the multiple waves thing has never been consistent. Hi. Rillarocor! Sudden. Jesus Christ. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to just designing a new system entirely and somehow using that instead of using the existing system, but I don't know how we would actually make that. Like, I can theorize how we would use or how we would design a new system. I can't really theorize how how we would, like, hook in and use our new system in place of the old one, basically. That's where I'm kind of stuck on. It looks like Vorvercores are even more commonly getting frozen now, but that could just be signal noise sample size. The Vorvercores are still getting fucked. I wonder why. I assumed this issue was related to iScript because GPTP doesn't, like, disabling the whole fucking plugin doesn't fix that issue. So yeah, a Kister core is implemented. I don't think the AI used them yet. We still have to add AI spellcasting for old and new abilities and that sort of thing. Like, Veek also has to add AI handling for, like, moving into siege tanks and stuff instead of kiting away from them. Basically anything that has a minimum range should be handled that way, in my opinion. Oh, here we go. 404 at 500. That's a crash. Again, these kinds of crashes on first run are kind of rare, so that we're getting more of them is kind of concerning. This is delete building AI. I suppose since hallucinations can be buildings, this might be caused from the same thing, so I'll debug this. Oh, never mind. It's calling at the end of remove. Apparently was what called it. Well, the AI just, like, the ability is on hit, so. The ability cast? No, not yet. So it looks like it called unit remove when its timed life was out, and it crashed on building AI, which means it was a hallucinated building that didn't get cleared correctly. So I'm like, that's my logical assumption anyway. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the problem, if I had to guess. Does that actually address this issue? I guess it just means that hallucinated units will be initialized like any other kind of unit, basically. And that would include if it's a building. Well, I will say that this has been productive insofar as we've improved the stability of the game. I can't confirm about that hallucinated building stuff. I guess one way to do it would be to test in the test map. Spawn Sunken 1-1, spawn Tavis 1-1. I don't remember if hallucinated units, I mean, I can just spawn it for myself, I guess. And then spawn 0. Now, obviously, this is a case where it doesn't even initialize correctly. But if I now... Well, I guess I could just wait for the time to life to expire. 40525B. Yeah. It was the same, it was actually the same crash. So that was the crash. I don't remember. I think I built, but I'll confirm that by rebuilding. Just to see if it that did resolve the issue. I mean, for now, I suppose what we can do, since it only works for photon cannons anyway, is we can just disable buildings being created, being cloned by hallucinations if we don't have any other way of fixing this issue. Because technically, it's, I mean, it is bugged anyway, right? So. Yeah, so it crashes on the latest build. So that should be something we can resolve one way or the other. But I'll end the stream here. We made some pretty good progress on the layout overall. I'm really happy with how that is. The next move will be to take Orange and move him a little bit further out to the left and maybe slightly redesign this top area. I'll probably get rid of this bridge, for example, and then like do something like this with it, so that he has a bit more build space in general. And then what I'll just link this over here to this so that we still have that element of isolation, shall we say. Compartmentalization maybe would be a better term. And then, yeah, and then he'll basically have this like long strip over here, basically. I think he'll probably have a base up against this. And it'll be a bit awkward probably for AI build space or whatever, but I guess we can leave this as like a natural expansion or something for him. That way there's a little bit more space between orange and brown, so one of them doesn't have to kill the other in order to find some sort of victory. There's some issues with this, but I'll figure I might have to like further redesign this whole thing. Yeah, any building that attacks, well, any unit, regardless of type, that attacks a hallucinating unit will result in that. Yeah, will result in a spawn. So that's just happens to have been the crash there. So it looks like we can resolve that relatively easily one way or the other. So yeah, that'll be my stream for the day. We were able to get a fair bit of work done already. I'm going to take a break, prep for my Elo Heaven episode in 2 hours, and then from there, I'll do that episode and come back and get some more work done on the AI. So stay tuned to the Discord server where I'll be posting updates about the nightly pre-release build that will receive an update later today. Probably before my show, actually, and then maybe I'll do another update afterwards with some additional changes to the AI or some additional audio visuals or whatever. Yeah, really looking forward to this new update and getting this out there and seeing people's Mapcraps. Remember, if you're working on a Mapcrap, I recommend that, assuming you're using the Cosmonarchy game state, you download the Special Bus repo, which is not in Special Bus, it's pinned in the Cosmonarchy channel. And that will be that's where the pre-releases are. That's where the most up-to-date content that's publicly available is. Or if you happen to have access to the dev build, obviously you can use that ahead of time. But just in general, something to note is that it will help you in testing and balancing your submission, because you won't be essentially debugging and testing and making changes based on the old submission with the old rules and stuff. In this case, we're overhauling an entire race's tech tree progression, amongst other things. So 100% recommend doing that. And aside from that, if there's something that you want added to your to Cosmonarchy's like feature set, like an AI build or something, I will consider doing that if you just send the recommendations my way or requests my way through DMs or on the server or whatever. And that'll be that for now. I will catch you guys very soon.